Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us for the Kellogg Summit.
Thanks for having me.
We've been talking for the past day or so around this world that we're operating in as leaders, increasingly being more disconnected. There's more hybrid, remote work environments. Obviously, your organization's one of that. Would love to hear from you around how you've thought about tailoring your leadership style to build more connectivity with your team in this environment.
Yeah, I think that the crux of the problem in this environment and the whole debate over return to office really comes down to the tension between everybody wants culture without a commute. And in that, I think that it is possible to build culture by bringing people together occasionally. I don't think it requires, and this is perhaps a controversial answer, I don't necessarily think it requires having everybody in the office every single day. I think it is possible, but it requires different muscles. This becomes around leading through influence much, much more. The requirement of knowing how to navigate becomes so much more important. And so for me as a leader, I think it is a work in progress of how I instill those skills in others. And it also has required a lot more outreach. And I'm not necessarily the most extroverted of people, but I know that people need to have their door knocked on sometimes. And so I've become very much more intentional about making sure that I always stick to the one-on-ones. I have much more skip levels, and I've gone really much more out of my way to meet one-on-one in successive levels of my organization on occasion, and then also be very diligent about having virtual town halls, reward mechanisms, and then allowing for teams to get together once a quarter or so, and making sure that that's part of our T&E budget.
That's great. Just thinking about the content from the summit so far, what's something that you feel like you'll take away from this?
The takeaway of coming to something like this is to just hear outside perspective. And so I think as much as it's important to build culture within, it is so much more important than ever before to make sure that you're getting outside perspective. And that has been an absolute blessing in coming here today.
It's great to hear. What are you, just thinking about the year ahead, what are you excited about?
I think that generative AI is the most exciting thing that's come along in a very, very long time. After so many years in marketing and media, I probably start with more of a sense of skepticism and cynicism about a lot of newfangled, shiny objects that have come along. This feels as transformative as seeing that all of the New York Times was indexed in a search engine, or the first time that I held an iPhone and could just access my bank account and just do everything in that way. The impact that this is going to have on productivity and creativity is going to be as transformative as those previous successive ways. And I haven't felt that way and that level of excitement about what's coming next in terms of digital media, marketing, and technology in probably since the iPhone came out. And so that's really thrilling.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be a marketer.
It really is.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.